Hello. So today I'm going to discuss our group, which represented CU Denver for the first time this year at the Associated Schools of Construction ASC competition. The competition ran from February 3rd through February 5th. Our team was made up of 7 students, 3 of which were underclassmen. The competition required us to have 6 compete with an alternate that could fit in as a substitute if need be. Additionally, our team included 2 mentors, Michael from Millender White, Michael Friedler, and Aaron Peterson. Each of the competing members took on job roles that aligned with the construction management process. Today, you will hear from myself, Ryan Thompson, Melina Montalvo, Jacob Donaldson, and Corey Stanek. The team began developing on October 15th for the competition in February. And our biggest challenges coming off was locating and becoming familiar with required software, followed by implementing gained knowledge and practicing the software with past competition documents. Each competition is a surprise to some extent. This required us to be versatile, having a comprehensive understanding of scheduling, site logistics, quantity takeoffs, reading contracts, and overall many of the construction management processes involved with completing a project from the ground up. The ASC annual competition is an intensive 3-day process. It aims to provide participants with real-world experience in construction site management as well as development. The event is sponsored by top construction firms. This year, our school fell in Region 6 and was sponsored by Layton. Layton provided a current job contract located in Wilter, California. Some of the project's tasks included analyzing documents and specifications to implement schedules, assess risks, develop estimates, and produce quantity takeoffs. Overall, our top priorities included developing and following a scheduled critical path, full project development of 4 ground-up buildings from foundation to finish, and restoring 3 historic buildings and limiting further damage, including erosion. Next, I'm going to pass you off to Marlena.
Thank you, Ryan. I'll be talking about the deliverables of the project. We had 3 of them, plus the final presentation. The first one was the request for qualifications, RFQ. The information requirements were given to us January 8th, and we had about 25 days to work on them. It was due February 3rd, which was the first day of the competition. The RFQ mainly required company and personnel information, as well as it gave us a little bit of an idea of the project and important information such as location, project size, and phasing. This is what RFQ looked like. They only wanted to be 1 page, so we included all of the information, all the key information there. And the phase breakdown of the project was divided into 3 phases. Phase 1 with site utilities, site concrete, site paving, and other things. Phase 2 working on 2 buildings, and phase 3 working on another 5 buildings. We were also given information that we're going to receive an addendum one of the days of the competition, which is something that Jacob's going to talk about later on. For the other 2 deliverables, we had 2 RFPs. RFP number 1 included phase 1, and RFP number 2 included phases 2 and 3. Documents such as bid form, management plan, schedule, site technology, safety and quality control, and risk mitigation were all included in the RFPs. And we also, on the last day of the competition, had our final presentation. Next is Corey talking about site logistics.
For site logistics, we had to come up with a plan of where everything was going to go in our construction site. As you can see on the picture in front of you, we have everything from various routes for delivery trucks, entrances, exits. To be cognizant of COVID-19, we have a check-in station. You can also see offices, material laydowns, and everything else that you would need on a construction site. For our schedule, we started with February 5th, 2021. And from there, we were able to build based off the duration of each following task, while keeping in consideration things like critical path and allocating time for various delays. As you can see in front of you on the screen, there are various milestones that we used to kind of track our progress, how we were doing with our schedule and how we were progressing through the project as a whole. As Marlena mentioned and Ryan mentioned, the project was divided into 3 different phases. And now these phases not only divided our scope, but they also divided our schedule. So our schedules are really centered around these different phases. As you can see, phase 1 is largely earthwork, phase 2 was the construction of new buildings, and phase 3 was a renovation of old buildings. So after navigating all these different factors, we were able to establish our finish date. And in total, this project came to about a year in duration. And now Jacob Donaldson is going to talk to us about estimating.
Great. So to do the cost estimating on this project, Layton provided the team with a detailed bid form for all 3 phases. Most of the costs for the project activities were already filled in, but we had to do the subcontractor selection, quantity takeoff, and general conditions. The team was responsible for selecting the most cost-effective subcontractors. In phase 1, we had to pick 4, and in phases 2 and 3, there were 9 to choose. Subcontractors were evaluated by comparing their proposals, which were also provided through Layton. The main parameter here was the cost to perform the activities, and we also looked at the services provided in their total bid amount and the alternates or additional services that they provided. We also had to perform a quantity takeoff for the cost to install lath and plaster in all 3 phases. In the site work phase, the quantity was found by taking a rough estimate of the surface area on the monument sign installed on the site. In phases 2 and 3, more extensive analysis was performed using Bluebeam software to get a more precise value for the amount of lath and plaster used in the exterior stucco finishes. RS means was used to find a rough estimate for the unit cost of installing the lath and plaster, which included material and labor. Another cost that we had to evaluate was the administrative costs outlined in the general conditions. Layton provided a GC form with unit costs for site requirements, and based on the duration of the project and staffing requirements, we were able to fill out the form and incorporate it into the bid form. As Marlena mentioned before, on the second day, Layton provided an addendum to the scope of work. This included a change order to price out 4 more additional tasks, update the site management plan to avoid disturbing the soil containment area, and to work with the schedule to accommodate a 2 to 3 week lead time for inspections. The final cost we presented to the client was about $11.3 million for phase 1, $3.4 million for phase 2, $11.2 million for phase 3, and about $400,000 for the addendum, for a total of about $26.3 million. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.